your starting goaltenders. For Minnesota, she has been the story here in playoffs. Maddie Rooney, the 26-year-old, is getting her 5th straight start. She has only allowed 2 goals against in that Toronto series, and she will look to get the win here in game number 1. And at the other end, the Green Monster, the 24-year-old Erin Frankel, has been the difference maker. 3 straight wins in playoffs, looking to make it 4. She had a record-setting 56-save performance against Montreal in game number 2.
And there's Amanda Pelkey, and Alexa spoke about her in the pregame. Those minutes are elevating because of her confidence in that goal and assist in that 3rd game, in that sweep, but Pelkey elevating to that 2nd line.
Puck drop and away we go. Game 1 of the PWHL Finals is underway. A chance to hoist the Walter Cup. It's on the line, and an opening penalty is on the way as Kendall Schofield gets taken down here early. So Minnesota will go to the power play as Megan Keller will take a seat.
Well, and this is not the way you want to start. You want to make sure that you're dictating pace of play, and now there is going to be a call. It's going to be an interference call. And as you mentioned, it's all about movement through the neutral zone. And you can see get taken down right there as Kendall Schofield doing what she does. Megan Keller can't believe it. She's going to get that interference call, and you see the smiles on Courtney Kessel's face as well, as Minnesota 2 for 15 so far in the playoffs.
To the power play, they will go. They struck in that final deciding game 5 against Toronto. Can they strike here in game 1? Schofield lets it go. Frankel at the top of her crease. Puck drop, Heisey trying to win it ahead. Early on it, Liz Shepard's doing some work here for Minnesota on the power play. 3 assists so far in her playoff run here from down Minnesota. Now Schofield on the outside for Minnesota, taking it in over the line. Can't get by Fracken as she stands her up along the half boards. Schofield back for Steckline. Steckline drops it back. Heisey taking a look, walking in. She'll pull it back. Slowing up pace far side. Schofield to Steckline. Heisey now top of the circles. Looking for down low. Rott getting some time here. North Oaks, Minnesota finds Schofield. Steckline. Fakes the shot. One time, Heisey just wide.
You can see that there in that 1-3-1 set. You've got Lee Steckline at the top. Heisey looking for that cross seam as well. You know that Kendall Schofield, she's like a dog on a bone, will look to recover pucks.
2 assists so far in her playoff run here at Schofield. Put up 2 goals, 2 assists against Boston in the regular season. Boston, that 3-2 series lead in the regular season. Most recently meeting April 27th. It was a 2-1 win for Boston. Tanner Brandt in that final 2.7 seconds remaining to give Boston the win. Gava moving it ahead. Minnesota still on the power play here under 45 seconds to go on the opening player advantage. Krasova working hard down low for Minnesota. DiGirolamo's elevated her game here in the playoffs, getting some time on Boston's penalty kill. Zumwinkle trying to feed it down. Boston will send it the distance.
Well, there's a theme here for Boston, making sure that they close quickly. You saw it with Fratkin along the boards, as well as you're seeing from DiGirolamo there, just closing at the blue line and presenting a physical nature to the game.
Panic feeds it to the point. Heisey with room. Takes a shot, and a great save by Frankel. Heisey still in control. Taking a look, Panic drops down. Heisey going for a skate. Still on the power play for Minnesota. Final seconds here. Schofield takes a shot, and that will go off the blocker of Frankel again. They always say your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender, and that's the story for Boston here in the opening frame. And Heisey not done yet. Just can't get by Keller. She returns to ice, and we're back to 5-on-5. Steckline out wide, drops the shoulder. You see Minnesota sending everything on net. We saw them engage in that strategy late in Game 5 against Toronto, throwing everything they can. It paid off as Heisey gets stood up here.
Well, I think it's predictable that Heisey's going to look to cut back to the middle of the ice. And if you watch any game film on her, you know that she's a dynamic player. She uses her edges, and she'll push her way around the perimeter, trying to scan to find a way into the middle of the ice. And so you want to step up and close quickly, play a physical game.
Coming off a 2-goal performance for Taylor Heisey in a Game 5 game. Of course, struck on the power play in the empty netter towards the end. Well, she drew a penalty earlier in the game and then cashed in on the power play as well. Heisey being a menace in the playoffs. And first overall draft pick rising here in the playoffs.
Well, and rising she needs to do, and you see Boston be real physical, closing quickly. Fratkin along the boards on the PK to be able to get it 200 feet down the ice, and then on the entry where you have to contest the blue line, it's going to be DiGirolamo, who herself played 8 minutes in terms of PK minutes, that being in that crazy game that went into triple overtime.
all of Boston's game in the playoffs in that sweep came down in overtime. A long shot here on the point from Minnesota. Flaherty will be first back on it. Icing will be the call. Control now, trying to get in behind Minnesota's defense. Warren will send it down deep in the zone, 2 assists so far in her playoffs. Playing with 9 shots on net, second most on the team here for Boston. Going to talk up Minnesota. Now on the far end, sometime Budarak, overtime hero for Minnesota in that Toronto series, their lone game that went down to the wire in double overtime. Kraken in on the half boards, looks for the far pass. DiGirolamo now with speed. She'll send it deep in the zone. That will go to the near side. Panic will look to pick it up. Again, the details to her game have really led this team for Minnesota. Tapani, 2-time overtime hero, getting some time here for Boston as they'll go back and roll their line. So we're looking here, Mueller, Johnson, and Tapani.
Well, and Tapani came outside the blue line there, really trying to get her toes facing down ice.
Johnson trying to let the shot off.
You see that so often, Ken's, just when players come high in the offensive zone, trying to really stretch the zone, scan it so that they can attack it. So figuring out ways to attack, and that's certainly something that both teams will look to do. And we had the opportunity to speak to Ken Klee pregame. He said, we know that this is a strong team in terms of Boston. They like to play off the rush, and they've got players in the back end like Megan Keller. So we need a strong F1 presence. We want to make sure that we don't give them time with the puck to stretch the zone, because they will look for the long bomb as well. If you give Megan Keller any time behind the net, she will look for that exit. She'll come out with the puck, and she'll look to hit players left and right.
And please saying their mindset, it's simply one game at a time. That's how they've coached the season all year long, and it's paying off for them here in playoffs. They're down by 2 in the series against Toronto, came back to reverse the sweep and punch their ticket to the finals. Heisey in control, reverse pass, a great feed. Cava tries to tuck it home, rims it around, and she scores! Michaela Cava opening the scoring in game 1.
Well, you knew that they had to be effective, this line, that top line going Schofield, Heisey, and Cavan. It's all off the face-off. You can see Steckline on the back, finding a lane. It's off the backboard, and then it's all about recovery, hounding the puck, and that's exactly what Kendall Coyne Schofield does. And guess what? When you hound, you wind up with possession. You force your opponent into a vulnerable spot. But what a backhand pass by Heisey to Cava, who elects to take it around the net. So she now has Frankel, who is committed to that strong side post, to get across to that other post to push across quickly. Cava's able to beat her. Beautiful play.
Her first playoff goal, Michaela Cava. A beauty play, and so Minnesota, the road team, getting ahead here in game 1. She picked up a goal against Boston back in the regular season. It's a 4-0 victory back on March 13th. Heisey now back in control, lets the shot go just wide.
And Heisey, when she's able to make that backhand pass, and a lot of the time with someone like Taylor Heisey, guess what? She's going to pull coverage outside of the middle of the ice. And so when she does that, Cava comes through that mid lane with good timing. Erin Frankel bites, and she beats her to the other side of the net.
Regular season, Michaela Cava scored against 4 of the 5 teams in the PWHL. The only team she couldn't crack was Ottawa. Rooney drops back in her net. Minnesota looking to get on the attack. Lauren Gable getting some time here. Her first playoff game in game 3. Didn't play a whole lot of minutes for Boston, minute 31. Rattray, that was also her first game back after taking a heavy hit. Wow. Sarah LaFour in the final regular season game against Montreal.
Well, there certainly has been injuries. I mean, Lauren Gable for Boston as well. She did dress in game 3, played a minute and 31. She was the 13th forward, and now she finds herself on that 4th line with Marvin and Wenskowski.
DiGirolamo will go D to D. Fratkin trying to move it ahead for Gable. Shepard jumps on the loose puck with time. Picked up the 13th. Shirley looking for the chip and chase. Budarak jumps in on the puck. Minnesota State graduate now on the back check as Alexia Gia looks to go to work here for Boston. Playoff goal for her already in this playoff round. Shirley drops it down, pushed off by Shepard. 2-2 battle. Stack line moving it ahead, looking for Sofia Cunnin on this breakout. Now puck will trickle into Minnesota's bench. tries with a shot just wide for Boston. Zumwinkle looking to get going for Minnesota. Boston looking to respond as Cava opened the scoring here in the first period. Long shot, a chance in front of the backhand. Tapany, why of course. And Boston ties it up.
Well, Susanna Tapany doing again and finding the back of the net to get the equalizer. And this starts off of the rush. This is a rush team, and they get in. You can see Mueller just that dangle as she changes the point of attack, and it's all about recovery. You take the shot, you got to find a way to get it back, and that's what happens. They converge on the net below the goal line, creating some space, go low to high, and then go east-west. Get that puck through to the net, and you can see Tapany coming through that slot area. Lena Mueller as well causes a disruption right there. Tapany with the right timing and puts it in. And talk about timing by Susanna Tapany and the rush play of this team, and this is their gift, first in the league in that number. Certainly looking to play fast through the neutral zone.
What a goal for Susanna Tapany, her first in regulation, her third in the playoffs. Long shot here, save made by Franco. Minnesota getting their extra chances though. Still played ahead. Hillary Knight will pick it up on the near side. Susanna Tapany coming into this game with 5 game-winning goals collectively on her year, 3 in overtime. A remarkable performance for the Finnish native.
And if you go back to that last game, it was Alina Mueller who led that rush through the neutral ice.
Looking to respond now, Brooke Bryant tucks it in. Franco will make the stop. Let's not forget Susanna Tapany, drafted by Minnesota, started with Minnesota, now here she is. Healy also for Boston. We'll follow up the move by Tapany.
Well, and it's interesting, in terms of metrics, Minnesota is really strong defensively and better than Boston in many areas, but not off of the rush, and that is the strength of Boston. So very interesting to see how Minnesota was going to play with a fast team that likes to play in numbers.
Tapany traded with Cook for Sophie Jakes back on February 11th, the first ever PWHL trade. For Boston, paying off here, Sophie Jakes, also a player to watch on the back end for Minnesota. Both of their shots on net have come from their defenders. And you certainly look at players like Lee Steckline and Sophie Jakes. Allie Bookbinder also heating up on the blue line for Minnesota. She gains control here, battling hard against Gigi Marvin. Shepard is trying to pull this puck out. Shepard had 3 assists in a regular season, has 3 in the playoffs. Another player who has certainly elevated their game.
You see Boston closing in the neutral zone. Kessel said that with a quick team and a finesse team like Minnesota, they want to make sure they took away neutral ice, and Boston the best in terms of denying entry, and a big reason for that. They got players like Brown, solid defenders, as well as Megan Keller, who is consistently gapping up.
Boston just 5 days ago on this very ice to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Overtime hero Susanna Tapany to submit in 2 seconds into that overtime. A 5-game win streak here at home inside the Tsonga Center, looking to make it 6 and take game 1. 1-1 here in period number 1.
And you see Megan Keller trying to come up this same side of the ice on the exit, and Boston not having a lot of success over the course of the playoffs in that area when they're using the same side.
Jobzo looking for the centering pass for Tapany. This line getting their chances on the rush for Boston. Now Vasova out wide for Minnesota. The puck gets stolen away by Tapany. Now Hillary Knight on the reverse. Here comes Mueller on the outside. A 2-on-2 unfolding for Boston. Mueller cuts in front, tries for the shot, follows it up. Makes a backhand pass. Very Taylor Heisey of her that we saw earlier in this period. Alina Mueller making something out of nothing. Now Hannah Brandt trying for the reverse pass. Heisey will pick it up and she'll cut to center.
Well, that's certainly what Heisey likes to do. She likes to take that move to the middle of the ice, give herself more passing option, in particular in the offensive zone.
Shirley, fresh legs on the ice, trying to get the shot off. Amanda Pelkey will pick it up down low for Boston. 2 goals and an assist for Amanda Pelkey coming into this game. Saw a sign earlier that said they named their cat after Amanda Pelkey. So we got a big Amanda Pelkey fan here in the audience inside Tsonga Center. Shirley working deep in the zone. Sends it back to Morin. She'll feed it off the backboards. And again, inside the Tsonga Center, more room below the goal line. We saw Montreal try and take advantage of that with Stacey. Countless wraparound plays, but just couldn't strike.
Well, and Boston knows this rink very well, so they'll look to set up shop below the goal line. In particular, players like Hillary Knight as well as Jamie Lee Rattray, where they can do their best work.
The goal scored here in period number 1, just 2 minutes, 30 seconds apart. Flaherty for the reverse pass. Rocco taking a look up ice from Burlington, Ontario. Isabel Cup with Toronto 6 just last year with Michaela Cava. Flaherty on the outside for Minnesota. Team's first ever playoff goal, working it down low with DeGeorge. Flaherty George spins back, trying for a passing option. A great read by Keller. Pushes it back to the point. Greco trying for the long shot. Glove down by DeGeorge. Puck's jumping. Boston will play it ahead.
Well, and Ken Lee spoke about the depth of this team, in particular his fourth line, knowing that Fleming and Brott and DeGeorge were there, and just felt that they're a line that certainly can present some offense as well, and he thought that depth was really their strength.
Chance in front, and a one-time release by Lena Mueller, just wide. The Swiss native heating up here in game 1.
You see that play coming from below the goal line as well. You get the coverage to turn their feet, and then you can get lost in that slot area, and that's exactly what Alina Mueller does, just able to get it all in terms of on that puck, but misses the net. But really nice opportunity for her, and just kind of the vision and scanning to know how to come down through that mid lane. And it's all about timing, not 100 miles an hour to meet that puck. And again, down below the goal line, you see Tapany using that edge work, sees her coming through in and around the dot on a diagonal, a one-timer. See Rooney right at the top of her paint to be able to redirect that puck. But it misses, so she's out there being aggressive, trying to redirect. Lena Mueller just off cue there.
College star, a 5-time Patty Kaz nominee, a 2-time top 3 finalist. Whether she's on the international stage or in the college record book, she's everywhere. Morin trying for the high shot, a blocker saved by Rooney. He'll come to the top of her crease, not afraid to challenge the puck. The veteran goaltender out in front, another chance for Boston. Hannah Brandt tried to settle the puck.
Well, you see the below the goal line play. It's that extra room down there that they're familiar with. Certainly changes the game for defense and the offense, because it's real difficult. You start chasing a puck, and now all of a sudden you open up room in front of the net.
Marvin picking it up on the far side. 3-time Olympian, 7-time World Championship competitor. That's what Boston has, a lot of experience. It's in the PWHL international stage. They're going to use that to their advantage. They can lean on those players who know how to play in a depth goal.
Courtney Kessel spoke to us about that, right? She said, listen, I know they've played in big games, and so someone like Gigi Marvin and Pelkey, it doesn't matter where I put them in the lineup or how many minutes I give them, I know that they can come up big and clutch when it matters the most.
They have done just that. Foul here on the half boards. Conn in with the chance, feeds it to the point. Another shot, and Franco will flash the leather, keeping this a 1-1 game.
Courtney, nerves and excitement were expected to start this game, but how do you think Boston has settled into that?
Yeah, I think our response to their goal was huge, and killing off our penalty in the first few seconds was huge for us, so I think we're doing a great job.
Susanna Tapany comes up big yet again. What does she bring to this team?
She's just a tremendous 200-foot hockey player that can play both sides of the puck, so we're super excited to have her.
For the time.
Thank you.
Who will be the first to hoist the Walter Cup? Game 1 is underway here, and we're all tied up at 1. Shamsel looking to feed it ahead. Steckline trying to feed it right back down. Krasova will glove it down. Takes a hit by Mueller.
Well, and that puck was forced into the neutral zone because of Zumwinkle and the way she came down on Brown. And it's always about using your stick to steer to one side of the ice, and then you allow F2 to really squeeze and push that puck into the neutral zone. Now all of a sudden you can turn it and get going the other way.
Krasova has also been a big hero for Minnesota here in the playoffs. 2 goals to show for it. Can't forget her late tying goal back in the World Championship with Czechia against Finland, against Susanna Tapany, and shot it up late in that game to force overtime. Of course, Finland came away with the bronze this past year. Steckline feeds it in deep, no stranger to the international stage herself. She's won at every single level. She hoists the Walter Cup here in her first year with Minnesota.
And still one of the top one-on-one defenders in the world, Kenzie. I mean, just the way she closed in the neutral zone there. Gab contested the blue line and went the other way and got the puck into the offensive zone. Just a real smart player, a leader, someone who communicates really well.
A hot start to the regular season. Lee Steckline, a goal, 3 assists in her first 5 games. 3 assists already here in the playoffs. Channel trying to stand up Hillary Knight at center. Boston has numbers. Knight kicks it out to Pelkey. Looking to feed it right back. Sophie Jakes disrupting that play. Now with speed. Cava on the outside. Looking to find Taylor Heisey. Heisey, Queen Schofield, and Cava. This top line for Minnesota. Now with no Abby Marine.
Well, yeah, she's unable to play, of course, playing that in that first series. So now you've seen Ken Klee juggle his lines a little bit. He said Abby Marine brought a lot of physical prowess to his lineup, something that clearly, you know, they don't have a ton of. They're more of a finesse team.
A familiarity with Heisey and Zumwinkle, of course, the Gopher graduates. Now Boston, DiGirolamo walking in, her shot off of Shirley, and that gets redirected to the corner. So Shirley now battling hard, in control, takes a look, tries to tap it out in front.
Well, you're seeing the game of Jessica DiGirolamo just really elevate with her confidence, and she's really progressed through this playoff. You know, that first round, I mean, in game 3, she played just shy of 30 minutes with 5 hits, and we've already seen her with a couple in this evening's game.
Rooney will opt to hold here with 4 minutes to go in the first period.
And as you look at Hillary Knight, and she's been waiting for this night as well. Look at the time on ice. I mean, Panic, Knight, Schofield, Zumwinkle, the list goes on in terms of how many minutes they have played through their first series. I mean, just incredible time on ice. And for the coaches to figure out how to adjust and deploy their rosters to be able to manage.
Gable taking a look, trying to feed it out in front. But yeah, you look at Kelly Panic, someone who went 5 games of playoff hockey. Hillary Knight, just 50 seconds less than her, and well, she only played 3 games. Mind you, you tack on all that overtime, you got an extra game in 7 minutes and 11 seconds. So these players have been busy. It's been a marathon, and it all comes down to this.
It's been a marathon for Lee Steckline as well. You saw a real active stick leading with it, pushing her player to the outside, and was able to get that puck on the offense. And just something she does so well is she controls where her opponent goes with the use and the leverage of her stick, and then of course her skating to be able to close.
Shepard is trying to feed back for it. First on it, Channel. He was placed on waivers earlier in the year, and then Minnesota signed her as they let that shot go. Franco will make the save. So her first game against Boston. 2 goals in the regular season. Jovzel on the far side for Boston, taking a look, tries to the shot just wide. Now time for Tapney to pick it off on the half boards, not much room. Udarak not far behind. Shepard is battling hard as well. Cunnin will flip that puck to center. So Tapney able to even the scoring here in the first period, just 2.5 minutes after Cava opened the scoring for Minnesota, but it took them a while to get going and getting their playoff markers.
You see the controlled exit now as Heisey's going to peel to the corner, so they'll try and get out and get in. And this will be tough because anytime Boston sets up in the neutral zone, they try and squeeze.
Looking for the stretch pass for Queen Schofield. Franco will play it to the corner. Shoulder versus pass. DiGirolamo will be first on it. Hillary Knight on the half boards trying to get by Greco. The puck's loose and DiGirolamo tries to punch it ahead.
That's a nice play by Kendall Queen Schofield to be above the passing option, coming through the middle and just seals it and puts it back down deep in the corner. Now she's on the puck.
Queen Schofield looking for a tip in front. Cava net front. So it took Minnesota 147 minutes. 29 seconds to score their first road goal against Toronto. Back in their semi-final series, but here against Boston in the finals, just took them 4 minutes and 38 seconds on the road. It was Cava who struck first. Looking for the chip and chase. Emily Brown has been so strong in blocking shots leading into game 1, leading these 2 teams to 12 so far. Hillary Knight also up there. She's blocked 11. Used to seeing her score the big goals, but now putting her body on the line here in the finals for her team. Never counter out, Cheryl. You know when it comes down to the wire, Knight can heat up.
Well, yeah, you look at Zumwinkle as well. She's pointless in the opening series, much like Knight, but you know, anytime that they're on the ice, even if they feel quiet, they can find the back of the net. You know, because Zumwinkle's more of a linear player. She can really look to pull back from below the goal line, will look to drive the paint, and Hillary Knight, if she sets up shop there and she gets an opportunity on the power play, she can shield.
Turnover chance, Franco makes the stop. Period number 1 starts to wind down. Minnesota pressuring. Tapney on the half boards. Austin coming into this game with 4 days off. Minnesota played just Friday night in that deciding Game 5 game against Toronto. Intensity's high here. Jakes pulls it back, tries to the long shot. Frankel will hold.
Well, for Sophie Jakes, and you heard Becky Keller talk about her in the opening as well, just finding ways to create offense, and it's how you manipulate the blue line. And you can see the stall here, and she's drawing to her as she's allowing players to get to the front of the net. Eyes up, and you can see Cunnin going through that high slot area as well. You've got Budarak going to the net, and that's when she elects to take the shot. So real nice awareness there with the puck, trying to draw coverage to her, and then puts it through. And it's not about how hard it is, it's about finding a seam in lane to get it through to that net.
The Ohio State alumni, Sophie Jakes. Last-ditch effort here at the end of the first, and we're all tied up at 1.
Michaela, strong start for you, and despite that goal, what do you make of your team's effort so far?
Yeah, I think we started off with a good first 10. We kind of sat back a little and let them pressure us, but I think overall it was a good first period after just coming here and getting right to the game. So I really like the first period so far. We just got to keep taking it to them.
What a pretty nice pass from Taylor Heisey on your goal. What do you like playing with her the most?
Yeah, I mean, she's so physical. She's a great skater and a great playmaker. I really love playing with her. It's obviously an honor to be on her line, and I think just trying to get in spots for each other, and yeah, it's been great so far.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And so far, each team has struck once in the goal-scoring department. So we welcome you back inside Songa Center. Ken's along with you alongside Cheryl Pounder. Taylor Heisey with the chance here for Minnesota early, and they landed on net. Frankel plays it to the corner. Well, Minnesota opened period number 1 on the power play, and they're getting some chances here to open the second. Point Schofield working hard deep in the zone for Minnesota. She'll hold on, feeds it far side for Steckline. Steckline will hold back for Point Schofield, loads, and the shot gets blocked by Heisey. Back in the hands of Point Schofield. On the road with baby Drew and her husband Michael as well. Mom duties, professional hockey player, she does it all. That's something. Leading scorer in the regular season, of course, Natalie Spooner has said, wants to be an example of you can do both. Be a mom, be a hockey player. You can really do it all this league, showcasing that. The best in the world playing here in the PWHL. Nina Mueller blows a tire trying to get by Channel.
When we spoke to Ken Klee, he said when they had an opportunity to speak to her husband, he said, Coyne Schofield said to him, listen, you know, you've been making contact all your life in football, and I'm hitting it at the age of 32, so I'm certainly figuring it all out, and she certainly has, and Kava as well with that crossing pass. I think Heisey could have driven the slot area there with that initial pass. Our coverage had sagged, but she pulled herself outside of the inside in the most threatening part of the ice, but she has extreme edge work and certainly pass-first mentality.
Coyne Schofield a few days away from celebrating her 32nd birthday, May 25th. As we are deep into PWHL finals here. Game 1, best of 5 series. Who will hoist the first Walter Cup? Chip and chase. Jakes trying to get by Emily Brown. She'll catch her on the half boards. Krasova in front. Cunnin needs a big save by Frankel.
I've liked Cunnin game so far through 20 minutes of play, and now she gets that chance as well. Quick release shot. She's made some real nice passes as well, using the point, and really good off of the puck.
Her husband Luke currently competing with Team USA at the Men's World Championship. And here Sophia Cunnin looking to win a championship herself, the first, and bring it home to Minnesota. 2 games in Boston, Game 3 in Minnesota on the schedule. Schaffer is working deep in the zone. Puck pops out. Boston couldn't take advantage. Greco lands a hit. Morin trying to feed the puck to center. She'll retreat back. Schaffer is challenging. That will go deep into the zone. Greco first on it. Rattray pressuring. Played a lot of minutes in her first playoff game. Jamie Lee Rattray. 18 minutes, 19 seconds back in Game 3 against Montreal. She has control now on the far side. Rattray pushing off the puck. Greco steps in for help. Gable pressuring the puck here. Now a battle to the left of Rooney. Shepard provides help. Now Greco back up high looking for Cunnin. Minnesota stuck in their own zone here. Boston looking to take advantage. They got a full change. Gigi Marvin now battling hard.
Well, it's a 4th line, and you mentioned Gable, who played 1 minute and 31 in that Game 3.
Gable looking. She'll spin back. Think of the Boston Pride in the PHF. Our familiar face of Bracken on that team as well. Renskowski, former leading scorer just a few years ago. They'll land it on net. A chance. Rebound there. Rooney plays it aside. Now Cunnin back in control, looking to send it all the way down. Bracken with other ideas.
Well, and you see that work off of the cycle, off of the boards, and just that sustained pressure, finding ways to generate off of it when your opponent is fatigued.
Sydney Brott looking to move it ahead. Flaherty, Rooney, her teammates back during the days of University of Minnesota Duluth. Costa out wide, giving time. Babstock weighing her options. She'll hold on. Babstock in her 8th game here with Boston. Feeds it off, now to the hands of Minnesota. Fleming cuts to center. Mordaunt, Wisconsin, taking a spin. On the outside, still in full control, Britton Fleming looking for an option. She'll feed it to the point. Channel walks in, tries for the wrist shot. Bodies in the slot for Boston, prohibiting that puck to get much further.
That would be Hillary Knight, too, the veteran leader, just getting in that shooting lane, making sure that Greco can't get that puck to the net.
Look at Boston, their last 11 games straight have been decided by just one goal. They've won 8 of those.
With some sustained pressure here, it's going to be hard, and it's going to be worked by Lauren Gable, just being evasive and going low to high. You want the coverage to follow you. You see that widespread almost coming out of the zone. So some perimeter play that winds up working its way through that slot area. And once you have position, Gigi Marvin recognizes, puts that backhand on net. I love that she elected to throw it to the net on the backhand. Sometimes that can confuse goaltenders and create rebounds that have been misplayed.
Hillary Knight taking the draw here for Boston. She was overtime hero. She saw Minnesota back on January 27th. Last time these two teams met here inside the Songa Center 4 months ago. A lot has changed, and now both teams playing for the inaugural Walter Cup. Cava with speed here for Minnesota. She opened the scoring here tonight. On the outside, looks to chase after it. Frankel will come out to play the puck. She'll settle it ahead. Pressure, though, deep in the own zone.
And you always want the goaltender to come out of the net on your dump and look to play it, and sometimes that can create offense, especially there's a lot of room behind the net right now, as mentioned in this arena, and it can change the game. You know, you look at the different dimensions of the rink, and as a defender coming up with the puck when you have full possession, you can use the net.
Shepard moves it ahead. Franken first on him, looking to chip it off the glass and out. Shepard keeps it in. Franken sends it right back to center where Lee Steckline is. She'll cut the ice in half and send it right back down.
Want to establish a forecheck here, and sometimes that's what you want, just because you want to dictate pace and try and create some momentum in your favor.
Tapney trying to move it ahead. Oh, loose puck. Now Shirley on the outside. Tapney was going to go for a change. Instead, she'll play the puck. Drops it back for Jess Healy. Healy playing with the Buffalo Buttes just last year. And some increased minutes here on the blue line for Boston. Cunnin looking to settle this jumping puck. Healy tipping it right back down deep in the zone. Now Steckline feeds it to the point more and settles it. Sends it on net. A chance for a rebound. A great chance for Jamie Lee Rattray.
Well, anytime you send that puck to the net, it's going to be Sydney Morin who does it. Just has seeing eyes, and Rattray one of the best in the game in terms of the hash marks down below, and she looks to find that puck. Sydney Morin, who's 6 shots in game 2, and just 1 in game 3 of that last series, but just takes it off the wall, right to throw it. You can see the position that Jamie Lee Rattray comes back through the middle of the ice, trying to gain position on Steckline. She's able to get it, but looking for that rebound. Steckline's able to make up ground, recognize where that stick is, and take it away from Rattray. But nice presence of mind coming back from below the goal line. Rattray low to the ice, got that center of gravity real strong on her skates.
Big moment player. She's put up 16 points in her last 4 international tournaments, where she averaged just 9.5 minutes. Best 13th forward in the game. Incredible what she can do with her limited ice.
Well, and you see right third line as well, so just a little bit of shake, rattle, and roll, if you will, by Courtney Kessel, just trying to deploy her lineup just a little bit differently with the performance of Pelkey and, of course, Shirley.
Flaherty on the outside for Minnesota, pressured by Hannah Brandt.
Well, and one thing that we have noticed throughout these playoffs is that you are going to need your bench, and so when you have a balanced attack in a lineup, if one line gets sort of negated, you know that you've got some depth there to be able to push, especially when they're rested.
Hillary Knight stood up here at center ice. Landing the body, maybe Flaherty.
Well, and you think coming in here that if it was going to be a physical game, Boston would win that physical battle. But you see just holding up Hillary Knight, and Hillary Knight sent to the ice. You don't see that happen very often. Let's see how she handles herself net front later. Of course, she's going back to the dot. An interesting set here, taking over for Brandt in the middle.
Hillary Knight, we don't see her down much often on the ice. 5'11" forward. Such a heavy game. Flaherty. And now Babstock here sending down Kendall Coyne-Schofield at center. Minnesota bringing the physicality here in period number 2. Babstock working hard on the outside for Boston. We're coming over, joining the PWHL. Heisey now, the turnover, and she scores! Picks the corner and gets the go-ahead goal for Minnesota. They are in the lead, 2-1.
Well, Taylor Heisey is going to get her 3rd in 2 games, and this is going to come off Kendall Coyne-Schofield at her positioning. She's above the passing option, so the melee happens in the neutral zone, and you can see on recovery, Sydney Morin is coming behind the net, and she gets squeezed there by Cava. But look at this positioning above the puck. Once you see that channel is coming down, it's going to be Kendall Coyne-Schofield that also comes above it, and that is where the damage happens and the turnover happens, and it's on Heisey's stick, and she's a right-handed shot, and she's almost fading away, and you can see deep in her crease is Erin Frankel, and she buries it glove side. But that's great positioning to be able to turn the puck over. Ms. Melissa Channel, the right defender, just jumping down, and of course Kendall Coyne-Schofield in behind her. So that's the pinch, that is the squeeze that creates the turnover, and Taylor Heisey is the benefactor.
Goals in back-to-back games. Game 5, a deciding one against Toronto. Then here to make it a 2-1 game for her team. Again, beating these goaltenders. High glove side. She did on the power play. And again here, beating the Green Monster and Erin Frankel, who's been a wall for Boston. Now the road team in the lead. Panic in front. Bookbinder jumps down on the play. Krasova makes it another effort. Frankel will hold here.
Well, Taylor Heisey in game 5, she had 16 shots on goal overall, but this time on the power play, and you can see her coming and shooting. She gets that top of the circle, and she makes no mistake, and you can see where she is on the ice. Let that right-hand shot go, and that's on one side, so we're offside now. I thought she was actually going to carry that puck a little bit wider, and I was saying shoot that puck, but she's Taylor Heisey, and she knows what she's doing out there, and just waiting for Frankel to drop, and she goes that glove hand high. But that's just a beautiful play on the wall by Channel and Kendall Coyne-Schofield. Of course, Cava making the play to her, but again, getting to those spots in that high ice to be able to scan and know exactly where Frankel was in the net.
The scoring beast, it's been unlocked. Taylor Heisey now, goals in back-to-back games. Got a goal and an assist here tonight. Michaela Cava as well, picking up the primary assist on that excellent pass. Channel with the secondary.
Well, and if you think about it, Kens, it was March 13th that she'd scored her last goal before those 2 power play markers in game 5. So kind of waiting for her to explode. Ken Clee said to us, listen, it was the 4th game of the playoffs that we thought was her best game of the year. So heating up at the right time.
That game was against Boston. So Heisey rising to the occasion when she takes on Boston. Keller feeding ahead for Rattray. Taps it out wide for Shirley. She'll look to feed it right back for Rattray. And get through the legs of Flaherty. Coyne-Schofield at center now as Greco tries to feed it ahead, and that will go deep in the zone. Jumper is first on it for Minnesota, trying to keep this in the zone. Cunning now, 2-on-2 battle. She'll chase after it. Brown looking to pin her up against the boards. Emily Brown from Blaine, Minnesota. Budarak on the turnover, tries for the backhand pass. Quality shot chance for Budarak. Stackline walks the line, a high shot up and over the net. Fratkin now flipping it back to center. With 13 minor penalties in the regular season, Kaylee Fratkin. Doing well here in the playoffs, not too many penalties.
Well, you're seeing a lot of diagonal passes for Minnesota. And in that high ice, and it's going to be Budarak who is going to use a shield and kick to be able to get to the net. And again, just trying to find ways to get from the backhand to the forehand. And you can see the stick of Fratkin just taking that opportunity away. But it all started with a beautiful diagonal pass in the high ice.
2-1, Minnesota leads. Partway through period number 2. Hannah Brandt working down low for Boston, looking for the equalizer. She'll feed it to the point. Morin winds and fires. They may have redirected off the crossbar. DiGirolamo sends it out in front. The puck's loose, and it's pushed aside by Budarak. Huge hit here along the blue line. A cheer from the crowd inside Song to center. Boston ending some hits here late in the second period. Hillary Knight coming off earning her 14th medal at the Women's Worlds, the most ever. Going Schofield, showing her speed, trying to feed it out in front, caught up by DiGirolamo. She'll play it ahead without her stick, using her soccer skills here. Heisey tipped in front by Coyne Schofield, but it won't be enough. Knight chip ahead for Mueller. Icing waved off. Lena Mueller will look to be first on it in the corner.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if there's any shift of the lines coming into the third period. You know, that Palki certainly worked with Shirley and Agia. I thought they were one of the best lines for Boston in that third game, the sweep against Montreal.
Gia goal as well in her playoff run on just 5 shots on net in her series against Montreal. Now Wenskowski scores! And she ties it up here in the second period. It's not about the minutes, it's about the moments. Taylor Wenskowski does it again for Boston.
Well, she does it. It starts with a hit right through that neutral ice, and you can see that hit by Wenskowski, and she continues on. You can see Gigi Marvin trying to push it below the goal line. It's all about recovering that puck. She's trying to get it back to the net. Wenskowski, who started with the hit in the neutral zone, finds a way through that slot area. You can also see Jamie Lee Rattray getting a kick at it, but Wenskowski comes from the wall to the slot area and absolutely finishes it off. And you talk about fourth lines making a difference. Wenskowski, who got the game winner, that overtime winner in game 2 against Montreal, playing only 12 minutes and 42, where it nearly went into 4 overtimes. Woohoo! She gets the equalizer.
From Rochester, New Hampshire, Wenskowski does it again. Her second playoff marker. They're always big goals when she scores. The 26-year-old laid the Boston Pride last year. And what a goal for her. Boston back in it, and we're all tied up at 2. Under 7 to go in the second period.
Well, you talk the panel talk about, you know, the importance of secondary scoring, and that's exactly it. And Wenskowski, 2 goals this entire season.
Now Shirley looking for Megan Keller in the slot, looking for the go-ahead goal.
Well, that opportunity comes from Megan Keller. It was a little bit of a miscue, but again, looking to stretch the neutral ice. Now she's up in it on the attack.
Agia feeding it right back down. Josel first on it, trying to outwork Channel. She looks for an option. She'll start the cycle. Mueller will pick it up. She has Fratkin down low with her. Mueller in full control. Bang pass for Fratkin. She'll take a look. Feeds it to the point for DiGirolamo. She'll walk the blue line. That's DiGirolamo. Takes a look. The Mississauga native feeding right back deep into the zone. Mueller looking for a passing option. Leads to a turnover. Minnesota hoping to capitalize. And here comes Taylor Heisey. She made this a 2-1 game earlier in the period. He gets taken down on the half boards.
Well, Mueller had some nice offensive zone possession, but it was on the perimeter. Sometimes you got to look to just attack the middle of the ice, because Minnesota will push you and leave you out there if they can.
Stack line pushed off by Mueller. Puck's loose. A foot race. First on it, Bookbinder. Fair Point, New York. Looking up ice for Budarak. Boston will go D to D. Rankin has some room. Looking for Hillary Knight on the far side. DiGirolamo will pick up the puck at center. East Stack line with some time. Over time here. Game-winning goal back with the White Caps. The Isabel Cup. Wrap around Knight looking for a feed. Hillary Knight heating up here in game 1 of the PWHL final. She has control. Back to the point for Keller. She'll go D to D. Brown spins back, deep down in the zone for Brandt. In full control, sends it on net, and she scores! Hannah Brandt makes it 3-2 for Boston.
Incredible work on the forecheck. When you hound pucks, you create turnovers. And when you send players in on Lee's deck line coming from both sides, you're going to force the squeeze. Pelkey does a nice job disrupting, but guess who comes in? A righty able to collect the puck, looking for the wraparound. But now all of a sudden, you can see that Minnesota's on their heels. Another takeaway. Megan Keller, the defender, jumps in knowing that they're vulnerable. Now all of a sudden, they've got that full possession, and they got everyone running around. Hannah Brandt lost all alone off of the wall, gets to the dot and goes 5-hole on Maddie Rooney, who wants that one back.
Hannah Brandt rising to the occasion herself. Her first playoff goal to get Boston in the lead here late in the second period. She was the overtime hero against New York back on March 10th. A huge goal for Hannah Brandt. And that chemistry, her and Hillary Knight, to start that scoring opportunity. Longtime teammates of the national team, line mates even, but they even played PWHL. Team saw it together as well, where they combined for 11 points. And now Mueller in the slot, tries to the shot. Rooney will make the save. Alina Mueller will drop back. She finds Megan Keller. 5 penalties for Megan Keller now in the playoffs. Started off this game in the box. Also made a bit of a fight off Minnesota's power play. Schaubs will try for the backhand shot, followed up by Emily Brown, but just couldn't quite get it on net. Wholesale change for Boston, and out comes Hannah Brandt's line. Channel looking for the stretch play from Michaela Cava. She's got a goal and an assist here tonight.
And a lot of their opportunities are coming off of the rush. You saw the regroup with Megan Keller there. That's where they like to generate, and Megan Keller has an opportunity to make a first pass. She's going to make it.
So 2 unanswered goals now for Boston. Lenskowski's, Brandt's just 2 minutes and 21 seconds apart. As Kaylee Franken chases after it, she'll leave it for Brandt on the far boards, who's taken down by Cava. Heisey jumps in. Jakes now tries for the wrist shot, redirected off the backwards point. Schofield looking for the wraparound play. Cava, a strong chance for her. Under 3 to go here in the second period. Point Schofield taking a look, drops it down. Cava waits for backdoor, and she scores! The arms out, the whistle goes. Taylor Heisey has tied the game.
Gotta love the back and forth action, and now Taylor Heisey's gonna get another one, and it's gonna be the equalizer now here, so she has really heated up and showing a reason why she was #1 in the first ever PWHL draft. I mean, there's a reason, because she is a sniper, but it all starts with a point shot. Listen, if you can get the puck through, you're gonna find ways to recover pucks, and that's exactly what happens as Kendall Coyne-Schofield is walking down that puck down low. Cava sees that back door, and what a beautiful play. And that's 2 sequences for Cava on the same shift, but I love the way she draws DiGirolamo to her. You can see Greco, the defender, coming down the middle of the ice, and that creates confusion, right? You got a defender coming down the middle of the ice, so now everyone's got to track to her, so guess what happens? The back door opens, and they're able to put it in.
4 goals in 2 games now for Taylor Heisey. Unlocking greatness here for Taylor Heisey from Lake City, Minnesota. Minnesota is 4 for 4 when Taylor Heisey scores.
And it's interesting how the goaltenders respond here too, Kenzie.
A high shot, and she scores! Jess Healy from the blue line, and Boston regains the lead. Shoot, and good things can happen. Jess Healy getting her first playoff goal.
Well, Jess Healy, whose time is elevated throughout the playoffs, is going to get her first goal. And it's going to come up turnover again, just working hard along the boards and sealing at the right time. Gia above the puck and just getting that puck through. It goes off believe it does redirect here. We'll have another little look-see at it. It looks like it may go off of Flaherty and just fools Maddie Rooney, but we're just talking about the goaltenders and sort of how they're going to respond here. You look at their body of work over the course of the playoffs. Both have been outstanding, but now we're in a 4-3 game with, and shots are 19-15. So very interesting, the temperature that's changing here, and see which goaltender can settle in.
Jess Healy, a huge goal. Boston now in the lead here in the final 2 minutes. It's been a busy final few minutes in this stretch. Turnover chance now, Mueller on the backhand, just high. So many chances here for both teams, and Jess Healy getting it done. Goal 2 assists in the regular season for her. Just 15 seconds apart. Heisey, and then Healy responds. Her lone goal coming back on March 6th against Toronto, the lone goal in that game. We talked about it, Boston's depth has led them here, and it's on display again late in the second.
Well, and Healy, who played .305 in the opening game of the playoffs against Montreal, then went to .927 and .714 in game number 3. Bernie Kessel showing some confidence in her. And of course, getting that goal certainly feels good.
A busy second period. 5 different goal scores. Heisey picking up 2. It's rather 4 different goal scorers. Heisey having herself a night. Alamo as Hillary Knight gets taken down along the blue line. Boston trying to push this puck to center, but it will go deep in their own zone as we enter the final minute here in period number 2. Minnesota out shooting Boston 19-15. They outshot Boston for the 5 meetings in the regular season. Frankel will come out to play the puck. She'll settle it in behind for Brown. Chasing after it. Minnesota looking for a final chance here. Alamo taking a look up ice. She'll feed it off the far boards where Hillary Knight is. Now Tapani with speed through center off the skate of Heisey. Jumping back into Knight's hands, but here comes Cav on the outside for Minnesota. Feeds it back to the point, no one's home. Bookbinder pulls it in on the backhand. In front, and Cava tried to tuck it home. Boston in the lead, 4-3. Jess Healy, a shot from the blue line. Bookbinder back along the outside for Minnesota. Looking for one more push net front. Cava on the backhand. Feathers it far side. Heisey draws it back. Second line with the one-time shot. Flutters in front and a toe save by Frankel.
Taylor, it's a really back and forth game so far. What do you make of the pace?
Oh, it's really fast. 2 really good teams going at it, and I think it's going to be like that all series here.
What are you liking from your team so far?
The physicality, the never give up attitude here, where we keep firing pucks on net and playing really hard.
Anything you need to keep up in order to get the win?
Keep supporting each other, do the little things right, have fun, have each other's backs out there.
Best of luck, thank you.
Thank you.
And you look coming into this game, Erin Frankel, the rubber she has seen, 145 shots. She only allowed 4 goals against tonight. Different story. She's seen 20 shots. 3 have gone past her. So it's really been a story of goaltending coming into this game. But game 1, it's all about the goal scoring. As Cava looking for her second of the night. Third attempt against Frankel. Keller losing her glove in the process. She'll head to center to pick it up. Jobsel trying for the chip chase. So Boston leading the way here to open this third period. 4-3, a late goal by Jess Healy. A whopping 4 goals scored in the span of 4 minutes and 35 seconds in that second period to close it out and bring us to where we're at now. Collectively, 7 goals scored. Hillary Knight looking for 8 as she gets taken down.
Well, you're seeing 2 plays, one at one side, Minnesota. Cava trying to walk from below the goal line and stuff it. Now Hillary Knight doing the same at the other end. Both teams been told, let's take that puck to the paint, try and drive play here, try and get in and around the blue stuff.
This high volume of scoring new here to this playoffs. You go back to semifinal rounds. Between the 2 series, collectively 25 goals scored in the span of 8 games tonight. Well, we're seeing 7 goals in just 40 minutes in game 1 of the finals.
Well, you see Cava there. You got to take a hit to disrupt the puck, and that's exactly what happens. Coyne Schofield really close to that second layer, gives that puck up and runs some interference on Cava. Erin Frankel swimming in the crease, but able to make the save.
Minnesota pressing here, the opening of the third channel, tries for the shot, off into the corner. Jakes hoping to keep it in the zone. Back to center, Jakes will head in retreat to pick up this puck. Put up a whopping 68 shots on net in the regular season. The best on her team. Again, a lot of bulk of the shots coming in from Minnesota's blue line. Agia looking to move it ahead. Out center with speed, Agia from St. Thomas, Ontario, lets the shot go, trying to follow it up with a rebound. Rattray in below the goal line, working hard for Boston. Trying to find the insurance marker. Brown trying to feed it deep in the zone. Shirley picks it up. Far side pass, Morin jumps down on the play. Got off, she'll shoot, and Rooney will get the holds. Outside shots by Boston defenders. Causing some troubles here for Rooney.
Well, and it all comes off of the rush as well, and through that neutral ice, just entering with some speed right from their own zone, off the wall. Sophie Shirley just able to put it to the middle, but you see it's Agia, just that dynamic speed, and she's just using the defender Flaherty as a screen, throwing it to the net, but that would lead to possession, right? Anytime you're moving forward, you're able to recover pucks.
Another chance for Boston here. Zemwinkle will pick it up deep in the zone.
On that last chance, Maddie Rooney looked like she couldn't find that puck, so if you're Boston, you're throwing everything to the net right now.
Hannah Brand picking it up deep in the zone. That shot will... For Minnesota, looking for the equalizer. Steckline drops it back. Heisey, top of the circles, looks to recover the puck, but Knight sends it down.
And you can see that Steckline is looking to move that puck to Heisey as the first option. Lee Steckline a left, so she's quarterbacking the power play, but Heisey's on her offside, so she's a right-handed shot looking to get that one-timer or a cross-ice feed.
Short-handed, Marvin looking for Hillary Knight deep in the zone. Minnesota 1 for 13 against Boston in the regular season. Their lone power play goal coming from Grace Zemwinkle back on March 13th. It's a 4-0 win for Minnesota that night. Cava walks the blue line, drops it back for Heisey. 2 power play goals so far in her. 2 goals on the night. Heisey takes a look, she'll hold on, tries for the shot off the backboards, brought, trying to feed it right back out in front. To the point now for Steckline. She'll try for the wrist shot high, brought on the far side, trying to feed it out, and a blocker saved by Frankel. Back to the point, Steckline. Quick change, Zemwinkle joining in on the ice, far side, Cava loads, and a high shot as she gets robbed by Frankel.
Well, some perimeter puck movement, and Minnesota was able to get a change here. Cava just delaying, and you can see that pullback to Grace Zemwinkle, and again, just that seam pass cross ice. You can see coming down towards the net is Cava, and listen, it is much more difficult to defend that. I mean, a static shooter from the dot or someone that is moving towards the net, and Cava does a nice job to get to that quiet area to be able to deliver that.
Well, Susanna Tapney of Boston actually scored a power play goal for Minnesota back when she played for them. Boston, not many power play goals for them on the season as Tapney works deep in the zone for Boston. She'll send it all the way down with under 20 seconds to go here on Minnesota's second power play of the game.
Well, the veteran uses the ice that's given to her. She doesn't elect to take the glass or the boards where everyone had converged on that side. She takes the middle of the ice, sends it down.
Now Jakes will pick it up in the corner. Last two seasons at Ohio State, Jakes 107 points in those 79 games, so she looks to make a difference here. Back to 5-on-5. Minnesota in control. Bookbinder tries for the chip and chase. She's on a 14-point streak before the international break. For Minnesota, all changed in the break for the worse. 7 losses in a row.
See the positioning by Steckline there, just making sure that she's got a good gap. It is so difficult to move forward. You've got a player like her, an athlete like her, that defends so strongly one-on-one.
Steckline finding some room. She'll feed it far side for Bryant. But Bryant trying to let that shot off. One game in the playoffs. This is just her second here with Minnesota. Minnesota State graduate. Floats back to be an F3 as Fratkin tries to feed it out through center. Wenskowski pushed off the puck. Flaherty causing havoc deep in the zone. Greco has some room.
Well, smart play by Greco to come in there, recognizing that Wenskowski is one-on-one, and she's coming in to make that a one-on-two, and they're able to get out because of it. And those are the subtle details of Greco's game. She doesn't always, you know, get the mentions because it's not flash, but it's those details that make her a solid player.
Jumpers chasing after the loose puck. Trying to get by Fratkin. That puck rolls to the point. Jake settles it. Channel loads a wrist shot here off the backboards. Shepherd's trying to pick it up on the far side. She'll try it for the cycle. Budarak has some room. 5 years at Minnesota State for Budarak from Andover, Minnesota. Now Cunnin tries for the shot. Budarak with the rebound. Frankel will hold here. A lot of Frankel fans here inside Tsonga Center for game 1 at the PWHL Finals. Steckline lets it go. Frankel, the wall, standing up tall. Battle here, Kava trying to push it deep into the zone. Her and Heisey have really connected in the playoffs. Kava, goal, 2 assists. Heisey, 2 goals and an assist. They have connected on each other's goals so far as Coyne Schofield looks to chase after this loose puck.
Well, and she's going to outskate that, and there was some nice back pressure there as well by Heisey, and with that back pressure, it results in a turnover, but it's quick transition to get going the other way. You don't want to spend time when you've caught your opponent. You want to get it moving right away.
Channel chasing after the loose puck. Tries for the reverse pass. Hillary Knight holding along the boards. Bueller, nominee for PWHL Rookie of the Year finalist. Wilma Montaigne and Grace Zumwinkle as well. Kozova jumps it out wide for Zumwinkle. And for Billie Jean King, Ilana Kloss with Tessa Benham in our second intermission, and the honor they have in having an award named after them here. It will be the playoff MVP. Now puck will get rimmed around to the far side. Brown looks to pick it up. Anna Brandt trying to chip it ahead for Knight. Panic will be first on it.
Well, you see them trying to come up the same side both times and not able to get a clean exit. Oh, there's a hand-eye coordination of Hillary Knight. Just tap it down and go to the bench.
Never a dull moment when Hillary Knight is on the ice. 12:03 to go in the third period.
I mean, you see so often players go net front in practice and work on tapping down, redirecting. It is such a skill to have that kind of hand-eye coordination. It's also timing, right? Knowing when to extend to be able to tap down. She does it through neutral ice like it's nothing on her way to the bench. Yeah, I'm just gonna be able to tap it down. You see them coming out the same side, everyone on that side of the ice, and the puck's gonna turn over as a result, but when it does, it gets tapped down in a hurry.
Coming into this game, 15 shots on net for Hillary Knight, looking for her first playoff marker. Put up 6 goals, 5 assists in the regular season, but each one of those goals, critical goals, game winners, late tying goals as well. Big in shootouts, of course. Now Agia spins it side. Pushed off. Morin trying to feed it ahead. Now Boston, 7 overtime winning games for them collectively on the year. Undefeated here in the playoffs. Looking to keep that streak alive here in game 1 of the finals. Hillary Knight, here she comes, deep in the zone for Minnesota. Shot, and it will get blocked. Maggie Flaherty dropping the knee, but Knight not done yet, and the puck pops out. Rolls to the corner. A great save for Maddie Rooney. Those two know each other. Long-time national teammates. Hillary Knight and Maddie Rooney. Rooney, the benefactor on that play.
Well, they both have the book on one another, don't they? And it's going to be Hillary Knight coming off of the bench. So she's coming right back at it. And she recognizes she's got sagging coverage. She shoots the puck, but she's moving forward towards the rebound so she can recover it, and she's stuffing it, right? Shield, I'm going to walk in. I'm a righty. I got it. And you can see that Maddie Rooney is sealed to that strong side post. Hillary Knight trying to go far.
Long shot here. Knight has been an overtime winner before against Minnesota in the regular season. Looking for the insurance marker as Boston leads away by 1. Bookbinder trying to pull this puck out. A strong board battle here. Far side. Long shot, just high. Mueller will pick it up on the half boards.
Well, Chazal was in the high ice, but she started to work her way down, and the coverage followed her, so that opened up Brown for that point shot.
Chazal, the first player from the University of Vermont to be a Patty Kazmaier top 10 finalist. Put up 106 points.
Chazal made a beautiful pass.
Tapani, a chance, shot, stopped by Rooney. Gable, a secondary attempt here, deep in the zone. Gable floats it out high. Pava plays it to the corner.
You're talking so much about Chazal. She made that beautiful pass to Mueller through neutral ice in that overtime against Montreal, that third and final game.
Lenskowski. Two huge playoff goals for her. Battling hard at center. Minnesota looking for the equalizer. Channel slows up pace. She'll try for a stretch pass. Fleming reading the play. Brock will skate after Deidre Alamo with a quick shoulder check. Marvin on the half boards, looking to find Lauren Gable.
Nice positioning by Channel there, just making sure that there was no room for Gable to pursue that puck forward.
Brought in front, a chance here, Channel. In the sweet spot, trying to let the shot go, and he brought another attempt for a pass out in front, pushed off. Deidre Alamo has just been hounding the puck here in the playoffs, and Franco will put the glove down. 4-3, Boston leads here in the third period, game 1 of the finals.
Welcome back to the Songa Center, where Boston is leading 4-3 in the third period. I am here with a Boston fan named Katie, who might just have the best side in the house. You named your cat after Amanda Pelkey. Can you just tell me the reason for it and your love for women's hockey?
I just wanted to name my pet after one of these amazing women, and Pelkey just fit her. She's a little hockey puck, and then after I named her Pelkey, Pelkey happened to score 2 clutch goals that got us here today.
Gotta love it, eh, Kenzie?
I love it. Amazing. She's also wearing a 47 sweatshirt, so the rat.
Hey, sounds like a lot of animals there and big women hockey fans to match with it.
And of course, the clothing company for Jamie Lee Rattray.
I love it. A cat named after her. We hope Amanda Pelkey pays a visit to the cat. We'll gotta get a cat photo with Amanda Pelkey. We'll follow up this story later on as the season goes on. Krasova taken down, drawing the penalty here. Rooney to the bench. Minnesota looking to take advantage of the delayed penalty on the way. The whistle will go. Minnesota back to the power play here for their third of the game.
Well, Bracken knows she's going to the box, so she's having some words with Kelly Panek, just trying to get a couple minutes on the other side, perhaps, and maybe it's going to be a tripping call down in the corner and the defensive end for Boston. Again, just keep your feet moving. You can see it's a fight for the puck. Hova is trying to get to it first, and because Bracken is in behind her, just reaches with that stick. And you can see the jailbreak signs. We've seen it in this playoffs.
Gerard Brand has been jailbreak goal scorers for Boston in the regular season. Gerard now at TIR for Boston. To the power play for Minnesota. 0 for 2. 3 shots on their power play so far. Coyne Schofield feeding it in front. Franco making a strong stop. Heisey drops it down. Shepard's taking a look. Backdoor. Coyne Schofield has brought. Tries for a swing. Stack line to Coyne Schofield. She'll hold. Minnesota looking to tie this up here in the third period. A chance to do it here on the power play. Coyne Schofield, stack line, near side for Heisey. She cuts up, trying to shake Tapany. Stack line, pressured by Brandt. Heisey will take another look. Power play goal so far for her in the playoffs. Stack line, long shot off the backboards. Coyne Schofield will pick it up. First pass, giving room, Fleming. Now a turnover, Sydney. A chance for Hannah Brandt on the outside. DiGirolamo with her. Brandt trying to feed it in front, stuck in the skates.
And this is where, you're in a situation under 8 minutes and you're on the power play and you got to be going for it. But when you're on the PK on the other side, when you've got the 1-goal advantage, you know that if you give it up on the other side, sometimes it can go the other way in an odd player situation. So jailbreak strategic.
Krasova to the far side. Cava drops it back for Jakes. Sold away. Coyne Schofield feeds it far side for Grace Zumwinkle. You've seen her let go that slap shot at the top of the circles. Can she do it here in the third period? Jakes. Far side for Cava. Minnesota working it up high. Krasova now taking a look. Minnesota keeping it to the perimeter. Zumwinkle taking a look. She'll try for the wrist shot and it gets redirected off the backboards.
Krasova's positioning is critical here through the bump position. Just watching her motion is drawing.
Panic looking for an open body. Jakes shot just wide. Under 10 seconds to go here on Minnesota's third power play of the game. Yet to strike, and they're down by 1.
Oh yeah, Krasova was walking through that bump spot, and so forming triangles in the high ice and looking to bump that puck out. But it's critical that a bump position moves because it also creates a decoy, and you open up lanes back door.
Back to 5-on-5. Fleming with speed for Minnesota. Drops it deep in Boston zone. Greco, pad save by Franco. Now Morin will use the glass to chip it out.
We saw Claire DeGeorge try to get a stick on it through that middle of the ice on that shot from the point.
Morin looking up ice. Fleming taking some time here. Whistle will go with 6:02 remaining in this third period.
A couple of opportunities for Minnesota to get the equalizer on the power play. Coyne Schofield getting to the dot through the legs of DiGirolamo, knowing that Shepard is on the doorstep of Erin Franco. And again, just look at the motion of Heisey off of the puck and her awareness and her positioning. She's going to draw out to pull to her, stop, cut back, and Lee Steckline gets that one-timer shot off because of it. And you just see the evasiveness and the scanning of Heisey, but she has that ability to draw to her because she's such a threat.
Chasing history. Who will be the first to hoist the Walter Cup here tonight? Game 1, it's Boston in the lead. Greco trying to reverse this pass. Boston pressing here. Shirley looking up ice. Agia getting physical deep in the zone. Now Budarak stuck along by Brown. Fracken jumps down for help. Burnaby, BC, Kaylee Fracken looking for the stretch pass.
Well, she plays a physical game, doesn't she?
Now turnover chance for Heisey. Minnesota now. Heisey has Coyne Schofield with her. Trying for the cross ice pass. Cava now feeding it deep into the zone. Brown looking for reverse play. Cava in control, trying for Steckline. Now it's a foot race between Steckline and Tapany. Tapany comes away with it in front. Jobsel tries, her shot just high. And a great feed by Tapany. Teresa Shopsel with a chance here late in the third. Heisey trying to outwork Mueller, but she's in control. Leads it back to the point. Morin, she'll go D to D. Megan Keller taking a look. Tries for the shot, leads to a turnover. Cava makes it clear. Heisey having herself a night. 2 goals and an assist. She now has 4 goals in the last 2 games. As Zumwinkle rims it around, Morin will pick it up on the near side. Hillary Knight, here she comes. She has Pelkey with her, a 2-on-2 unfolding. Boston has control. Tapany, a shot here, just high. Hannah Brandt with a great trailing play for Boston. Now here comes Minnesota. Zumwinkle tries for another shot and a better stop by Franco. Aaron Frankel been lights out here in the third period for Boston. Jake's a long attempt. A game of runs. Minnesota with their chances. Boston as well.
Well, yeah, you're seeing that rush play off one side. You see it by Boston entering, but then once that puck miscues, it goes the other way with a chance for Grace Zumwinkle. So end-to-end action here in the third period.
Boston driving this net. Rattray. Now Sophie Shirley taken down, and the fans not pleased. With no call on that play as Rattray finds Shirley, and a pad save by Rooney. He's starting to open up here late in the third period. Minnesota out shooting Boston 10-5 here in the third.
The fans didn't like the missed call on the Sophie Shirley trip, but some end-to-end action with some speed off of the rush, and this is what it's all about as you're under 5 minutes remaining. It's having a beautiful feed to Shazov coming down, but Bookbinder slides, which forces that puck up high, and again hitting that trailer. Just a beautiful play, and then it does go the other way. Look at the cut to the middle of the ice. That causes the coverage to sag. Taking that shot is Grace Zumwinkle. A little bit of a flash screen there as well. Got to take away the eyes of Aaron Frankel if you want to beat her, and so flash screens certainly are something.
Boston trying for the shot. Stackline playing it ahead. Looking for Budarak. Minnesota, much needed change here. Heisey and Coyne Schofield taking to the ice. 3 minutes to go here in the third period. And Boston has the lead. Late goal in the second period by Jessie Lee, the difference maker. Now Heisey at center, tries to the pass in front. Now Kava. Coyne Schofield tries to find Heisey, and a great feed by Morin.
Well, you saw Heisey come through. She feathered that pass cross ice on her backhand.
Here comes Jakes on the backhand, lands it on net. Frank will make the stop, but the rebound's there, and Coyne Schofield will pick it up. Jakes going end to end, looking for the equalizer. Claire had so much offense in her college days, looking for that to transfer here in the PWHL. Panic, outside shot, and Frank will make the stop. Kava taken down at center.
Well, she's having words with the official too.
Tapany, cross-ice dump. Stackline will pick it up. She'll take a look. Krasova calling for it, and that floats to center. Keller will send it right back down. Stackline, reverse pass. DVD, Bookbinder looking up ice, finds Grace Zumwinkle. She'll cut to center. Here comes Zumwinkle. She'll spin back, looking for a better option. Panic will send it in. Kelly Panic, the captain for 2 years during her time at Minnesota, and Grace Zumwinkle was there as well. Definitely someone she looked up to during her college days, and now the two line mates out here in game one. Jakes tries for the shot, loose in front. Zumwinkle plays it ahead, but the whistle will go, and offside the call.
Yeah, that was offside, and just jumping the gun there a little bit on that dump. See Grace Zumwinkle just getting in on the hunt. And just the turnover happens, and it's offside. That puck goes towards the net, but in zone is still Zumwinkle, and she's gonna go for it. You know, just that puck's in and around it. She's gonna try and get a stick on it. She's that power forward, but
giving it all they have here. A minute and 35 to go, and they're down by one in game five. They completed the reverse sweep against Toronto, and they keep the streak alive and take game one. Boston in the driver's seat. Keller trying to get by Panic. Shamso working hard in the zone. Idra Alamo, a head-up play off the glass and out, and Stackline will chase after it. Empty net here as Stackline rims around Tapany. Goal for her in this game. And Skowski and Brandt, the other two goal scorers. Alongside Healy. Long shot, just wide. Boston not afraid to go for it when they're in the blue line. Turnover chance, Hillary Knight trying to steal it. Now Coyne Schofield, a centering pass. Here comes Heisey, 2 goals on the night. Drops it back, Zumwinkle can't quite get the shot off. Under 50 seconds to go. And Mueller will send it the distance. Can she make it? And she just misses, Alina Mueller. End to end, she fired it, but it just wasn't enough. Always say hockey, a game of inches. Mueller just missing that empty net with the insurance marker by a few inches.
well, and as a result, she's below the goal line and she's going for it, and now all of a sudden the puck is back in her zone. Offensive zone face-off here. Kelly Panic's going to try and go head-to-head against Tapany.
Face-off to the left of Frankel. 6-on-5 for Minnesota. Stackline Holds it back, drops it down for Heisey. She'll have control, finds Zumwinkle, back to the point for Jakes. She'll shoot long, that gets blocked by Tapany. Under 30 seconds to go here in the third period, and Boston clears it.
You see Mueller just using it in the boards, just getting it out now, knowing the timing. You want to make sure that you don't give your opponent an opportunity to set up in zone.
Heisey looking to do it herself, cuts to center. Zumwinkle chipping it deep into the zone. Countdown is on here in Boston, hoping to keep things to the perimeter. Minnesota, other ideas as they landed on net. Keller will wind down the clock.